Hello and welcome to the War Thunder dev server. In this video I will be giving a preview of the F8U-2 Crusader, the famous last gunfighter of the United States Navy. The F8U-2 was later renamed to F-8C with the introduction of the Tri-Service Designation System in 1962. Before I get into anything, it is worth saying that this aircraft is not quite complete. At the time of making this video, the weapon selection menu cannot be used to select the few secondary payloads that the F8 has access to, and some of the controls, namely the ailerons and some of the flap modes, appear to function incorrectly. It's also worth noting that the Crusader's iconic variable angle wing is yet to be implemented. At the current time, the F8 is placed at Tier 6 BR 10.0 and is the top aircraft on the United States Naval Fighter Line after the F3H Demon. To start with the weapons, only the 4 internal 20mm Colt Mark 12 cannons can be used at the current time. These guns are in common with other naval jets such as the A4E and the FJ4B. Just to give a quick rundown, these guns have 144 rounds of ammunition per gun, with a rate of fire of 1000 rounds per minute. Once the Tier 1 belts modification has been researched, these guns will be able to use 5 different ammunition belt types. Aside from the guns, the F8U has a few modifications for secondary payloads, although as mentioned I cannot test or view any of these payloads at the current time, as the payload selection menu is not functional for this aircraft. At Tier 1, players can research the AIM-9B air-to-air missile. This is probably the most common AAM in the game, with a 10G max overload and a flight range of 6.21 miles or 10 kilometers. Going by historical sources, the F8 should be able to carry 4 of these missiles using a pair of Y pylons with 1 pylon on either side of the fuselage. Moving now to Tier 3, you can research the AIM-9D Sidewinder. This missile is a large improvement over the 9B, having a 16G max overload with a range of just over 11 miles or 18 kilometers. As mentioned for the 9B, the aircraft should be able to carry 4 of these missiles on a pair of Y pylons. The final weapon-related modification is LAU-10A at Tier 4. This modification will allow for the fitting of Zuni rockets for ground attack, although as far as I was aware, the F8 could carry slightly more ground strike payloads than the payloads that are currently represented, so I would personally expect to see it getting at least a few bomb types upon live release. Moving forward to flight performance, in its current state the aircraft can hit up to Mach 0.95 at sea level and Mach 0.99 at 25,000 feet. This is considerably slower than the Mach 1.8 that the aircraft could actually reach. I feel this considerable difference is likely partially down to the flaperons, which seem to be automatically positioned in a downwards placement, which would presumably cause a fair bit of additional drag. Then again, the most likely reasoning for this is just an incomplete flight model for the aircraft at this time. The maneuverability, especially at lower speeds, is better than I expected in this iteration, but as I said, the flight model is likely incomplete, so I will be waiting until the live release of the aircraft to re-evaluate how the maneuverability feels. Being a carrier-based aircraft, the F8 can of course operate from aircraft carriers in-game using its arrestor hook to land on the carriers. One of the more completed elements of this aircraft seems to be the cockpit, which to be honest looks fully done. It has a fairly standard layout with a radar screen in the center for the F8's nose-mounted radar. This radar of course has multiple range and scope modes, as well as being able to lock onto targets, where it will then display the range and how quickly you are gaining or falling behind the locked target. Well, that's more or less it. As mentioned, the Crusader does feel rather incomplete in this current iteration, although it is certainly well on the way to being ready for this patch's release. I feel we may well see a French F8 as well, although that is far from confirmed at the current time. I will be doing a few more videos from this second dev server opening, so do keep an eye out for them, although until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.